has come to our family. You remember our venerable house? Opulent and imperial, gazing proudly from its stoic perch above the moor. I lived all my years in that ancient, rumor-shadowed manor, fattened by decadence and luxury. And yet I began to tire of conventional extravagance. Singular, unsettling tales suggested the mansion itself was a gateway to some fabulous and unnameable power. With relic and ritual, I bent every effort towards the excavation and recovery of those long-buried secrets, exhausting what remained of our family fortune on swarthy workmen and sturdy shovels. At last, in the salt-soaked crags beneath the lowest foundations, we unearthed that damnable portal antediluvian evil. Our every step unsettled the ancient earth. But we were in a realm of death and madness. In the end, I alone fled laughing and wailing through those blackened arcades of antiquity, until consciousness failed me. You remember our venerable house, opulent and imperial. It is a festering abomination. I beg you, return home, claim your birthright, and deliver our family from the ravenous, clutching shadows of the darkest dungeon.
Hello everybody and welcome to Darkest Dungeons. I am going to join you on this epic adventure in one of the hardest games I've ever played. We are going to start with a clean save. I'm not very good at this game and I've never finished it. And yet we are going to dive into the darkest of the dungeons. Not quite the hardest difficulty, but definitely the darkest of the dungeons. And here we begin. So if any of you are a fan of H.P. Lovecraft, you're in for a ride.
You will arrive along the old road. It winds with a troubling, serpent-like suggestion through the corrupted countryside, leading only, I fear, to ever more tenebrous places. There is a sickness in the ancient pitted cobbles of the old road, and on its writhing path you will face viciousness, violence, and perhaps other damnably transcendent terrors. So steel yourself, and remember there can be no bravery without madness. The old road will take you to hell, but in that gaping abyss, we will find our redemption.
We start our adventure with Renaud and with Dismas. They are the two sassy muffins that are going to be joining us here first. So we have our little wrecked carriage. I think that's the last time we'll ever see the wrecked carriage.
Brigands have run up these lanes. Keep to the side path. The hamlet is just ahead. An ambush. Send these vermin a message. The rightful owner has returned, and their kind is no longer welcome.
I'm gonna try my hardest never to talk over him, because he has a fabulous voice and better voice lines than I could ever muster. So, we are gonna begin our little adventure here. You guys can see that it's kind of a turn-based game, and that is decided by a little speed factor here of who gets to go Each person gets one. Alright. Each person gets one turn per round, and we can indicate who still has a turn left by the little icons here on the bar here. And each person will have 4 different attacks they can use. The little red dots indicate where on the position that we can attack, and the yellow dots indicate where we can attack from. Alright. Good hit, Dismas.
Destroyed.
Awesome.
This expedition at least promises success.
Alright. We got a little bleed resistance debuff there, but that's fine. We're going to be seeing all sorts of these little interactable objects, and we eventually will have items in which we can experiment and see what works with what.
Leave nothing unchecked. There is much to be found in forgotten places.
This game is truly unforgiving.
Dispatch this thug in brutal fashion, that all may hear of your arrival.
And you gain nothing in this game without losing something. Let me see, I probably want to take out the guy in the back first. Grape shot blast, pistol shot. There we go. Now, I'm going to try to become as bonded to these characters as I can. We're in it in the long haul with these guys, but just so you guys are prepared, we can't save everyone. And just like if we were playing some RPG game, like the role-playing version, the tabletop version like D&D or Roll20 or some other form of tabletop roleplay that you've ever played, you always must be ready to accept. You must always be ready to accept that there's a chance that you can always die in every situation you walk into. The question is, when do we run away and when do we carry on? And what sacrifices are we willing to make? And our stun failed. How unfortunate. Doesn't matter how many games you ever play, you always will start out with our friendly man Renaud here. He is here to greet us, and hopefully we can hold on to him. Dismas too. So, if anything, these two guys have the greatest potential for success.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
Also, the narrator has impeccable ability to insult me at every turn. So, be ready for that.
And now, the true
Oh no,
test.
Dismas.
Hold fast.
How'd you get at
Or
Death
expire.
Doors? How did you get at Death's Door in the tutorial? I am truly ashamed of you. Shouldn't use him here, but... Alright.
Monstrous size has no intrinsic merit, unless inordinate exsanguination be considered a virtue.
Now, you guys probably noticed the little white bars underneath the characters, and those are our sanity points. Once we get to 100 sanity points, our person has a chance to either go crazy or excel. Like, in the stress of the situation, do they make or break? And if they get up to 200, then their heart explodes. We don't want that. And I have lost more games of Darkest Dungeon in all of my party having their heart explode than I have had them dying to Death's Door. Looks trapped. Let's open it anyways. It's trapped. That sucks. Alright. So if we're successful, not only do we get to keep everything that we collected, but we also get the quest reward. And we do not get to keep whatever we've collected if our entire party dies, but we do if we run away before they die. That's pretty good. I do not claim to be any expert at this game. In fact, I claim to be the opposite. But hopefully in our journey here together on this channel, we will see that change. So here are our starting quests. I have only ever completed the first quest in this little series. I have yet to complete anything else here. So, our first goal is going to be the first quest, which is explore the ruins. I plan on breaking these episodes up into 15 to 20 minute episodics, and hopefully I do well at that. If I fail to, never mind that. We'll see what happens if I don't keep track of time. All right, so we have several buildings around town here. We have the Survivalist, which allows us to upgrade our camping skills, which only comes into effect if we go on long journeys. We have the Stagecoach, which gets us more heroes to venture into the mansion with. We have the Tavern to help us with our stress, the Sanitarium to cure all ailments, the Church to help us pray to our God, the Graveyard to not notice it, to have nothing to deal with. We're going to ignore that. We have the Guild to upgrade our characters, skills that is, and the Blacksmith to upgrade their weapons and armor. And we also have the Nomad, which will sell rare items, and the Memoirs, which can give us access to the cut screens. Also, this little town will change whenever we have a unique event occurring. We will most likely see this if the Crimson Court ever comes up, and let's hope we don't get that very early, because that makes things a little bit tougher for us. Alright, so we'll click on this.
Most will end up here, covered in the poisoned earth, awaiting merciful oblivion.
This is the only time I will ever look at this to show you our complete lack of heroes, and we will never have anybody die. No matter what you guys may see, none of us will die. Alright.
Trinkets and charms, gathered from all the forgotten corners of the earth.
So, like I said, nothing in this game doesn't come without a cost. So like, if we grab this item, we get plus 10 dodge if we have a lot of health, but we lose that dodge significantly if it's the other way. And then we have the Arbalist only bandana, gives us great accuracy and great crit. That's actually an amazing item, but we do lose the ability to avoid attacks. Alright, and then each of these little shops here will have a little place where we can upgrade them. And it'll show the price of what the upgrade is, and we can collect all these items as we're venturing through the dungeons. This allows us to see more trinkets, and that reduces the trinket cost. That could actually be worth it. Since we don't have anything else unlocked, let's go ahead and just grab that. That'll probably pay off. That did significantly lower the price of those. And as you can see, things get substantially more hefty in cost as it goes up. And what is this? Ah, this is one of the DLCs I have yet to interact with. Jeweler. So I hear that there's like this little like endless tower mode you can go to. That's the farmstead. That will get us crystals. Now, I haven't tried that yet, and we won't try that until I've had a chance to significantly prove myself to you guys in this game. All right.
Women and men, soldiers and outlaws, fools and corpses. All will find their way to us now that the road is clear.
So we cleared the road. Our caretaker / stagecoach guy somehow got here with a fully repaired caravan. I'm not even sure how. And he will always bring us new heroes. And
What better laboratory than the blood-soaked battlefield?
9 times out of 10, we will always want to recruit these guys.
A sister of battle, pious and unrelenting.
So we got a Vestal, which has healing abilities, as well as some other support abilities. You'll notice that we have things that are locked off here. We could get those if we really wanted to. What is important to note here is all of these characters that come in on the caravan here always have their abilities randomized. So on the bottom we'll have our camping skills for long adventures. On the top here we will have our battle skills. Also, every person comes with their quirks. Some are good at things, some are bad at things. And I believe we can even change the color of our heroes too. So we can make our people go into battle well dressed and ready to do damage. Alright, so the stagecoach, our ultimate goal here is going to be to get higher and higher experienced recruits so that we don't have to waste time training these people, because while some of these quests are repeatable, a lot of them aren't. And things will only get substantially harder as things go on. So you'll notice that we have to upgrade a few things that we don't have access to yet, but we will get access to those as soon as we finish our first quest. And the other things here, I don't really think we want to mess with yet. So we'll go out of the stagecoach here and we'll go to the only other place we can go.
In time, you will know the tragic extent of my failings.
So if there is any point where like my recording messes up and we miss some sort of substantial cutscene or anything like that, I will make sure to show that to you guys, because these cutscenes, they're absolute gold. Alright, enough of me doing exposition here. We're gonna go ahead and embark.
A mecca of madness and morbidity. Your work begins.
This first little place is going to be the shortest one we ever go into. We just have to explore 90% of the ruins, and hopefully we don't lose anybody on the way. Real quick, let's see if we can get everyone to have sort of red garb. Yeah. Red team, let's go.
The cost of preparedness, measured now in gold, later in blood.
Right. So we always want to make sure we're stocking up. It costs a lot, but we need to have at least one of each item, because there's going to be different things that pop up. We're even going to take a torch, even though I usually go with the darkest environment as I can, and that plays a big factor, because the darker the dungeon is, the harder the encounters are, but the greater the XP and rewards are. So if we can survive in the darkness, we're going to be a lot better later on. Alright, so I took 8 food. That's about as much as we want for a short adventure. So long as we're not dilly-dallying, that is. So medium, we'd probably want like 12. A long one, we'd probably want like 24. Something like that. I'm just kind of guessing. And we're going to head on in. The ruins. The first expedition into the ruins of your ancestry. Be curious, but be careful. And I absolutely love the art style that we have going on here. The contrast, the deep colors. Alright, look at this fabulous matching group. You didn't quite have a really nice red bandana there, Dismas, but we'll forgive you. And introduce our other 2 characters. We have Mion? We'll go with Mion. Mion? I think it's French. Mion. So we have Mion, and we have Ventry, we have Dismas, and we have Renaud. So we had to move from room to room, Hey, a little torch thing. Hopefully get a free torch. Nice. What's really cool is that as things get darker, the color of the background changes as well, getting a really cool lighting effect. Alright, we have 2 little skeletons. We should be able to take these boys on. You could maybe kill them with this, or you could miss. You know, that's cool too. I know it's your first time since the village, and that last time wasn't too nice. You were at death's door, but we'll forgive you. You can blight our enemies, and we can check down at the bottom there to see what the resistances are. Looks like they are not resistant to blight, but they are heavily resistant to bleed damage. So let's blight them. And blight is basically the same thing as poisoning them. Alright, you heal, you have a little stun, and that is a self-heal. So you really don't have any attacks, so you're just gonna hang out here. Does that do damage? Oh, we don't know. Unfortunately, that also increases the light level. Plus 15% damage against Unholy. I like that.
Another one falls.
So, White Halo means they lost stress, and Dark Halo means that they've gained stress. Some people strive better with high stress, some people strive better with low stress.
Begone, fiend.
Nice.
These nightmarish creatures can be felled. They can be beaten.
Unlocked stronghold box. Well, let's open it up.
Finding the stuff is only the first test. Now it must be carried home.
Got some shovels, which is cool. And then anything with a purple background, that is one of our upgrade materials for the town. And
Even the cold stone seems bent on preventing passage.
This is why we brought a shovel. If we didn't bring a shovel, our people would gain substantial stress from doing that. So if we ever see any person that is like some sort of like priest, or they look like they're noble or rich or something, they usually are going to cause us a lot of trouble when it comes to stress. Whereas the rest of these guys are only going to be trying to kill us. These guys are just going to be trying to freak us out. So, can't get those guys to lead, but we could cause blight. Awesome. That was a crit chance debuff, which is awesome. Go with our little smite.
Another abomination cleansed from our lands.
You can heal our friend. You know, I hope we get to keep this healer. Healers are so useful. Alright. Let's take out our bony friend.
Executed with impunity.
And you just really don't like our plague doctor, now do you, Mr. Acolyte? That is fine, he does not like you either. Alright. Looks like we're gonna have to clear the ground here to get to our little cultist friend.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
I mean, they're not even cultists really at this point. They're basically just a whole clan of necromancers.
If only treasure could staunch the flow of otherworldly corruption.
So the blood is gonna take place if we ever get the blood curse. Renault here appears to have prone to stealing items. That's what it is. So apparently Renault likes to take things for himself.
Terrors may indeed stalk these shadows, but yonder, a glint of gold.
Oh no, we're surprised. This is really bad for us because it really messes with our formation. Like, some people can't really do things while they're in the back. I'll have you move back.
Grievous injury. Palpable fear.
Oof. Alright. You're bleeding, we'll cure that up real quick. And you can't do anything from the front, so we'll have you run back. As you can see, in full darkness, things go black and white. Which kind of takes the color out, but that's fine because it still looks pretty cool. Oh no! So he got to 100 stress
The walls close
and
in. The
he
shadows
is just
whisper of
freaking out instead
conspiracy.
of being useful. And we can only get rid of those issues when they're back in town.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
Yeah, go ahead and heal the party there. Get us all back up to the fighting spirit. Nice. Luckily, if our person has already been hit with an affliction, they won't get hit with a second affliction.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
Alright, now that we got Renault up here, this should go rather quickly.
Press this advantage. Give them no
Awesome.
quarter.
Hey, and we got some valuable
A
jewels.
trifling victory, but a victory nonetheless.
Trifling? We got a ruby worth 1,250 gold, and you're gonna call that trifling? Come on, narrator. Get with it. Alright, so, as you can see when we get a chest like this, all these have little icons on them. And if we wanted to test things out, we could see if it does anything special with the chest. However, it does consume the item when we try to do that. For example, we know now that that doesn't work, but we have one less torch.
Wealth beyond measure. Awarded to the brave and the foolhardy alike.
You call the stuff we just got previously foolhardy. I mean, trifling. And then you called this, like, it's the greatest treasure ever. This is far less than what we got from just winning the battle. It's quiet. Oh no!
Mechanical hazards. Possessed by evil intent.
So one of the problems with being with it as dark as it is that we can't see traps. And if we are, the brighter it is, the more likely we are to see those traps. Alright, now we have two directions we can go. We can either go towards the curio, which we know there's a trap along the way, or we can continue this way. Now we only need 90% of the rooms, so we're just gonna head to the right.
A handsome reward
Nice.
for a task well performed.
Now, any of these supplies that we end up leaving with, we'll end up selling those back to the merchant for their original value. Awesome. empty room. How curious. And it's a lucky thing we found some more shovels. Oh, we surprised them. That's great. So that's going to mean we get a chance just to hit them one time before they get a chance to hit us.
Soothed. Sedated.
He must have a high dodge. He does. 13. Well, we'll just have to beat our way towards him then.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
Like our previous cultist friend, he also causes us a lot of issues. Oof. I don't think the game wants us to have Dismas. I don't know about you guys, but that's what I'm feeling. So their dodge is rolled against our character's accuracy. So if we use a more accurate attack, they're less likely to avoid it. So if we go with this, and then take out the Arbalist. There we go. Almost. You got this one.
Slowly, gently. This is how a life is taken.
Oh, critical heal, that's awesome. Oh, just in time too. Alright. I need you to... Let's see. You can give yourself higher accuracy. That could be useful. Let's raise your accuracy against Courtier. Why do you have to make all the rest of your party sad and gloomy? That's not very cool, man. So he has high protection, 25% of all damage taken. Which is fine, we'll just get rid of him. See if we can hit here. Poison? Yes. That's great. Now if Dismas can hit him, we should be good.
Back to
Awesome.
the pit. Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
Now, when we're getting rid of things, it kind of shows us what we'd get for value when we get out of this. So I'm going to drop the torch because we definitely want the gold. And what else is worth anything here? 5 gold each, 15 gold each. I'm not sure what the blood is worth. Let's eat as much as we can. Alright. Now we want to open that chest, so we'll continue.
Glittering gold, trinkets and baubles. Paid for in blood.
So it doesn't look like the blood is worth anything, so we're going to drop that and take the jade. Alright. And that is for a successful adventure there, guys. Did pretty well. Got a little item that we can equip. Got some good gold value here. Alright, so Dismas and Renaud are level 1, which is amazing. And these guys are level 1, which is awesome. Because now we can actually invest some money in these people since we know that they're they've passed our little test, we're gonna call it. Lurker. I like that. Plus 10% damage if we have low torch levels. Which is good, because I want to play with low torch levels. You're good in the wild, which will be great, because that place is horribly dangerous. But you're slow in the first round. That's not good. Alright. And whoever
The
leaves...
tents are pitched, banners fly, and the corpse wagons stand at the ready.
Huh.
The circus has come to town.
Oh, cool. Okay, so that's the little multiplayer thing that we can do with our heroes if we feel confident in their abilities. And we completed our first quest, which is awesome. Well, that concludes our time here today with Darkest Dungeon. I will catch you guys in the next video. Oh, and before we go, whoever leaves the highest comments in the video, we will name a few of our characters with those people. Alright, see you guys next time.